Good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome
Hey,
everyone
Stanley.
to our Employer Highlights series. My name is Scott Johnson. I'm the Job Center operator here at the Ohio Means Jobs Columbus Franklin County Job Center. And we are excited to have one of our great local employers with us today in Morgan Stanley. And more importantly, we have Ryan Ely here representing them. Ryan, how are you?
I'm good, Scott.
Awesome. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, talk a little about your position, that type of thing, and then we'll get started.
Sure. So my name is Ryan Ely. As Scott mentioned, I am an executive director overseeing our digital delivery and analytics department for Morgan Stanley, obviously located here in Columbus, Ohio at our Easton location. Just to give a little bit of a background on me, I started with Morgan Stanley after graduating with a bachelor's degree from Kent State University. My first role was back in 2008 as an entry-level client service phone representative. At that time, I supported our online client websites. After a short stay there, I was able to apply and accept a management role overseeing a small digital escalation team. And really, at that time, found the opportunity. I was able to get into some project management in the digital space and just continued to grow my scope of responsibility over the years. Now I lead our digital delivery and analytics organization, really just responsible for a portfolio of digital applications. And I also am focused on improving our reporting and analytics capabilities for our wealth management operations department.
Okay, so that is absolutely awesome. I love hearing anyone that has really good career growth and progression within an organization. And it sounds like you've definitely done that if I did my math right over the last 14 years.
That's
So
right.
that is absolutely great. So for anyone who is joining us and you haven't participated in one of our employer highlight series before, we like to take this time every couple of weeks to bring an employer in who you may have heard of the name of the company and you may not quite be aware of everything that they do, and give them a chance to talk about the history of their company, their culture, and all the great hiring opportunities and everything that they have, so that it can help job seekers make really educated decisions on whether they want to apply for open positions or not. If you are watching on the live stream right now, please keep in mind that you can throw questions to us in the chat and we will respond to those as we can. We love interaction with our audience, so that's always a good thing. So I think to get started, Ryan, let's just start with a little bit about Morgan Stanley itself. Like I said, I know it's a name that people are familiar with, but maybe if you could give us some more background on the organization, that would be great.
Sure. I think Morgan Stanley is a global leader in wealth management and financial planning. I think for our Columbus, Ohio sites, I would just probably focus more on our wealth management and operations organizations. So we're really at a basic level a mix of client-facing wealth management and financial planning. So those are our financial advisors and support professionals at the branch level that are interfacing and doing financial planning directly with clients. And then we also have what we call kind of our operations and wealth management operations organization. So this ranges, and it is really a special thing about our Columbus, Ohio site, is it ranges from many distinct teams, whether it's client-facing, doing digital and banking support and services for clients, or whether it's back office operations where we're working directly with financial advisors and their teams on some of those more complex or financial planning oriented needs. So really a mix. I would say that's again, another special thing about our site here is probably 20 to 25 distinct teams and a lot of opportunity to learn, but to also progress and develop professionally and personally.
Yeah, which I think is, I mean, you're a testament to that. Let's be honest. When you gave us the background of your career and how you've progressed, you definitely were able to leverage that ability in a big way. Knowing that you have several teams, and it appears that some of the roles are very diverse in the way that they approach their day-to-day business. Let's talk a little bit about the culture of the office space, and what does that feel like? And are you guys 100% in person? Like, I can tell that you're in an office today, or is there a hybrid scenario for some of the positions? What does all that look like?
Yeah, so I would say it depends on the business unit that you're a part of, but largely, right, we are doing a hybrid model right now where we are 3 days in for most teams, and some flexibility with 2 days work from home. I think it's shifting to kind of the culture, right? And I think that this is something that really differentiates us from some of the other companies locally and broader. And it's really one of the reasons that I've enjoyed working at Morgan Stanley for so long. I'll probably just highlight a few things. First, our leadership team is really committed to developing and recognizing top performers through both career development, but also through advancement opportunities, right? Whether it's an ad hoc project that has a short lifespan, or whether it's recognizing and focusing on some of the career development through actual mobility opportunities that are available on site. So leadership commitment to professional development is a key for me, and something that I've been able to take advantage of and harness over the years. Second, I would say would be I haven't seen other FIs or local companies as involved as we are with community engagement. So we are very, very involved in Special Olympics. We're very involved in some Dress for Success drives. We run a series, almost a monthly series, of park and youth center cleanups with our Columbus Recreation and Parks departments. And these are just some of the flagship opportunities that we offer, Scott, but there's many, many more that I haven't mentioned. But really, that commitment to giving back, which is one of our core values as a firm, is something that I've been kind of blown away by consistently each year that I've been here. Thirdly, I would just say another item that differentiates Morgan Stanley is, I mentioned it earlier, we are a global company. I've seen a ton of success stories of folks staying within the Columbus, Ohio site, or within Ohio in general, and advancing through their career through opportunities that are here locally. But I've also seen many success stories of individuals who gain some experience within our operations or wealth management teams, and we're able to turn that into opportunities to relocate to other states, other cities. So again, I think that that's unique, and we have a track record for, again, recognizing that top talent and giving the opportunity to potentially relocate.
So yeah, I think that's absolutely amazing the way that you presented that, because you talk about not only supporting the individual but supporting the community, which I think is a really important piece for a lot of our job seekers right now. We all know what the grind is in going to work, but if you can know that there are opportunities, and whether those opportunities are here, as you mentioned, that potential to relocate. You never know what you might want to do in 5 or 10 years. So it's great to have that flexibility for sure. And, you mentioned Parks and Rec. That's near and dear to me because we're located in the same building as them. So knowing that you're connected to the community that way is a big win for sure. So we've talked a little about professional development. I think that is definitely, in the industry that you're talking about, something that's really important. Is there anything else that you'd like to lift up about how you guys approach it, with any type of specific programming or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things, and it's hard for me to not just draw back on my personal experience, but I'm really glad you asked this question. We offer a lot of different development paths, right? It could be pursuing financial licensing through some of the roles that require that within our site. It could be just kind of on the job, and what I call kind of expanding your scope of responsibility. I mentioned ad hoc projects. One of the things that I've been fortunate enough to realize in my career was just that, right? doing your base job, raising your hand for some of those ad hoc projects, those are ways to really gain some of that experience. And the good thing is we have a ton of those type of ad hoc projects that come up, but it really gets you ready and really builds that experience on the job within your role, possibly stretching to a similar team temporarily, and then you turn that into, a potential long-term opportunity as well. So on top of licensing, on top of some of the on-the-job and stretch assignments, I'll call it, we also do have a close relationship with our local branch teams. So there are opportunities to develop some experience also through licensing, but through potentially moving into, a wealth management field or branch role or a sales type role. And then the other path that is realized quite a bit here is progressing through the operations job roles into more of a people management, team management, department management type of role. That's the way that my career progressed. And then, I took a turn toward technology and towards some of our digital applications. But that operations team management and line management, people management is another big opportunity here. And again, it's a mix of on the job and ad hoc kind of opportunities, but I would probably highlight that as being also a good path forward.
It's interesting that you mention it that way, because I think two things. One, there's always a huge misconception that you only have to like the work of an industry to work in it. And, meaning you have to be a finance guy to work in finance wealth management. But you're right. There are tons of HR opportunities, tons of leadership opportunities, tons of IT opportunities where you really aren't dealing with dollars and cents. And that is something a lot of people aren't aware of. And the other thing, and I've always held this near and dear in my career, is you don't know what you don't know. So having those ad hoc opportunities to say, you know what, maybe I want to try this to see that I either love it or hate it. And it's just that short-term assignment to really give you that opportunity. So I think it's amazing that you guys have that opportunity for growth and professional development for sure.
Yeah, and I would just, if I could add on there, right, just to provide a bit more color to the start of my career. I was a marketing major with a minor in sociology and business management. Probably didn't have a real clear path or know what I really wanted. And I was elated to get in with Morgan Stanley after I learned what operations actually was. And really the most important highlight there is the opportunities and the distinct teams that are within operations that you don't really understand until you're in the door. And again, being able to kind of cut my teeth on project management, I realized, I'm okay at this, right? And was able to kind of spin that into additional opportunities. So I'll leave it there, but I think, just the wide range of opportunities that an operations center for a global financial advisor like Morgan Stanley offers is huge, and I think is a special opportunity with Morgan Stanley.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Let's kind of transition a little. We've talked about, the culture and the basics of the organization and some of that professional development and growth. Let's move towards benefits now, because we know that for a lot of individuals that are thinking about applying for jobs, the benefits and that type of thing are almost as important as pay sometimes. So let's talk about the basic package that you guys offer.
Yeah, I think on top of Morgan Stanley's culture and the opportunity for professional growth and personal development, which we've talked about, right? I would say Morgan Stanley offers a very competitive benefits package. So that includes paid time off. I believe it's currently 4 weeks. Very competitive health coverage. But then on top of that, you're also able to harness or take advantage of, I should say, some of the different financial planning tools that Morgan Stanley offers. And that's also, at each level of where you're at personally and professionally, right? So early on financial planning, if you were like me, probably not very good at your budget coming out of school, there's kind of a tiered approach to financial planning that we offer here as well. But I would just go back to, the 4 weeks paid time off, very competitive health coverage. And I would also say the flexibility of kind of the hybrid work model that we have today, depending on the business unit that you're in. would be some of those key benefits that I would highlight.
Yeah, and being responsive to the market and employee needs is really a benefit that a lot of companies don't talk about. And it sounds like Morgan Stanley has really embraced that over the last few years with what we all know has been a very interesting time in the workplace for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. So let's move from all of that to talk about what the hiring and application process is like if someone should decide that they want to pursue a position with Morgan Stanley. Can you kind of walk us through what that would be?
Yeah, so I would probably start at the beginning, right? We have a pretty robust careers page, which I know we shared the link for on this live stream. I would say starts with reviewing the descriptions on that job bank, which I'll refer to as a job bank or our careers page. If you're interested in either interviewing for that role, you want to interview for that role, or if you want to just have a conversation with that hiring manager to learn more, you can go through the application process. It's a pretty streamlined process there. Once you'll connect your kind of CV and resume to that submission as well, which isn't surprising, much like every other company. But after that, it's really more so in-person or Zoom interviews. Typically, you're meeting with 1, 2, or 3 different individuals, going through kind of what I'll call more of a casual back and forth conversation, really getting to know the individual and getting to know their skill set. But most importantly, the hiring manager really gives a deeper dive into what the role, the day-to-day type of life in that role is. Typically, you're going through 1 or 2 or possibly 3 of those discussions, and then those 3 kind of hiring managers go back and debrief on the candidate. After that, if it's a go, which we hope for, you are then kind of interfacing with our human resources department. There is a brief background check, which is done through our human resources department. And then you're kind of, once you get through that process, you go through just a quick start date discussion on when we can get you in the door and get that started. I'd say typically the time frame that I've seen recently is anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to get that process fully completed. It also kind of varies depending on the hiring manager and the candidate as well in terms of their experience level and how much they possibly need to know about the role before they get into it.
Awesome. I know you mentioned background check. Is there also a drug screen involved in the process?
There is not.
Okay, perfect. So one of the things that I just want to lift up to everybody watching that I heard you mention is really getting to know the hiring managers and getting to know the positions in that interview process. All too often, I think we apply for positions and we kind of go through the motions of interviewing, and then we get to day 1 of a job, and we've all been there before, where it is not even remotely what we thought we were hiring in to do, and we're really confused. So I applaud you guys for taking the time and really investing in that interview process the right way.
Yeah, I think transparency is key for these, right? We don't want to waste the time of the candidate, but we don't want to waste our own time as hiring managers and as an organization. And we definitely don't want to get through the full 2 to 4 week process and then it not be a match or completely surprise anyone, right? So we definitely focus on ensuring that folks are aware of the role that they're applying for and what that day in the life type of experience is right up front. Absolutely.
Yeah. And for anybody who's interested, we've got the URL on the screen right now. You can always visit morganstanley.com/people to understand what types of opportunities are out there and to also explore a little more about the culture and the benefits around employment with Morgan Stanley. So we've talked about all of this great stuff that makes up what you experience every day when you work at Morgan Stanley. And Ryan, I really want to thank you for the time with that. Now let's move to something that is a little more immediate and talk about some of those open positions that you're actively recruiting for right now. And before you say anything, I do want to tee up with everybody. We're going to help you really figure out how you can connect with Ryan and the team once he talks about the open positions here at our job center.
Sure. Thanks, Scott, and I appreciate the opportunity for sure. I'm probably just going to highlight a few different roles, and really more so the kind of business unit or department that these roles kind of sit in. Again, I would say, as Scott mentioned, we'll offer the careers URL, which really spans both wealth management and wealth management operations. So within wealth management operations, I would say our client services team has quite a few roles open currently. I actually have the job bank up here as well. These roles are where you would be supporting both external clients, but also financial advisors and their teams on their clients' banking and digital inquiries. So this is, one of the roles that I started in back in 2008. Our service review unit is a unique department within our site where you're working directly with regional and complex branch teams, so advisor teams, on supporting any client and transactional volumes that they're going through daily and weekly. We also have quite a few training facilitator and training curriculum development roles open currently, where you'd be either facilitating instructor-led trainings or actually working off kind of back office developing curriculum as we introduce new products, or there are slight enhancements or changes to existing products. And then I would also say there's quite a few roles, just as I was perusing the job bank this morning, where if you either have or are pursuing licensing, we have a ton of roles available within our estate and heritage services teams. But I would just say across all of our wealth management operations and the service review unit that I just mentioned, there's quite a few licensing roles available as well.
So it sounds like you guys really have something for just about anyone. That's exciting, because it gets you in the door, and then you can really figure out exactly what you want to do. Absolutely exciting. So I mentioned a minute ago, and one of the things that we do that is related to our employer highlight series that we're in right now, we offer what we call a Thursday with an employer every Thursday here at our job center. And we're excited to announce that Morgan Stanley will be here this Thursday at 11 a.m. So if you're interested in pursuing employment with Morgan Stanley, you can come in and talk to Ryan and the team about the open positions that you just mentioned, and actually start that application process on the spot in our job center. You can go to the URL that's listed here, which is omjcfc.org/Thursday. You can always call us at 614-559-5052 to get registered. The big thing is, Ryan, we appreciate Morgan Stanley as a local employer and the impact that you make on the community. And we want to help you fill those open positions. So hopefully we have plenty of job seekers out there who are really actively interested in the positions, and will come in and connect with us this Thursday.
Awesome. Scott, really appreciate this. Really excited to continue our partnership with Ohio Means Jobs. And even, I'll say even more excited to see some candidates come through and discuss with us on Thursday, but also through our application process on our careers page. So really appreciate it, Scott.
Yep, absolutely. Again, for everybody, just to reiterate one more time, if you're interested in employment with Morgan Stanley, visit our website, omjcfc.org/Thursday, or call us at 614-559-5052 to get registered for our this Thursday, August 25th at 11 a.m., where you can connect with the team from Morgan Stanley. So Ryan, one more time, thank you so much for the great conversation today. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.